Okay, this tutorial is going to cover the Garmin GPS system with DCS. I think it's the GN430 or something like that. Anyways, I'm learning the system myself. I just bought it, so this is going to be a very rough tutorial. I'm going to cover how to start it up, how to create a user waypoint, and then how to navigate towards that waypoint you made. So the first thing you want to do is you want to bring up your GPS system, and I believe the default is left shift, left alt, plus B. Okay. If you press the top left of the system, you can actually enlarge it like I am right now. So the first thing you do, the top left dial, it says .C. You're going to rotate it to turn the system on. You're going to press the ENT, the enter button once, and then one more time. Okay, on the main page, you're going to press menu. You're going to hit enter, enter, clear. That's going to make the GPS follow our direction of travel. Press menu again. Okay, for now on out, whenever I talk about dials, I'm talking about the bottom right dial, not the left dial on the bottom left. We're talking about the bottom right dial for here on out. The bottom right dial has two parts. It has an inner and an outer dial. Okay, the outer one is the big one, the inner one is the small one. So we're going to rotate the big dial to data fields on and press enter. This will make information pop up on our GPS on the right side. You can see it says WPT for waypoint, DIS for distance, GS for ground speed. I don't know what DTK stands for. Okay, so the GPS system has 4 main pages. Right now, if you look at the GPS system on the bottom, it says NAV for nav. Nav is one of the main pages. So if we rotate the big dial, we can navigate these different main pages. There's 4 main pages. The first main page is called nav. The second is WPT for waypoint. The third is AUX for aux. And the fourth is NRST for the nearest airport. We have 4 main pages: nav, waypoint, aux, and NRST. Use the big dial to navigate the 4 main pages to switch between them. Now for each main page, if you rotate the smaller dial, you can navigate the sub-pages for that main page. So if we want to navigate all the sub-pages for nav, we rotate the inner, the small dial. Okay, let's rotate the big outer dial to go over to the waypoint page, or rotate the smaller inside dial to navigate the sub-pages of waypoint. Okay, so let's rotate the small dial to go to the USR page. This is the user waypoint page. This is how to create your own waypoints. So let's go ahead and press in the push CRSR, the small dial, push it in. Okay, so now we have WPT0 flashing. We can change the name of our waypoint by rotating the small dial. Okay, let's call it X. Okay, so now we rotate the big dial to go over to the next point. Rotate the small dial to select your next letter. Let's call it X. Rotate the big dial to go to the next spot. Rotate the inner one to select your next letter. And then X. Okay, let's hit enter. Rotate your big dial until the position box is flashing. Alright, now rotate the small dial. Okay. Now rotate the big one. And we're going to type in our coordinates in this box. So if I go to the F10 menu, I'm going to type in coordinates for Capelletti. So I'll put my cursor on the airfield, and I'll go to the top left of my screen, and I'll write down the coordinates. So north will be 415547. East will be 415147. I'll go back to my menu. So the way it works is the first one is your cardinal direction, so it's going to be north. The second number should always be a 0, so it's going to be north 0, and then we'll start typing in our coordinates from here. So I'll use the small dial to change that selected number. So the first one will be 4. I'll use the big dial to rotate to the next one. That's correct, so we'll rotate over to the next one using the big dial. That's correct, I'll use the big dial to go over to the next one. Now I'll switch this to 5 using my small dial. Okay, I'll go to the next number by using my big dial. I'll change this to a 4 using my small dial. I'll go over to the next number using the big dial. I'll use a small dial to change this to a 7. I'm going to use my big dial to go down to the next one. Okay, now I'm going to use my big dial to go over. I'm going to use my big dial to go over again. using my small dial to change that number, big dial over, small dial to change, big dial over, small dial to change, and this is the correct coordinate. So I'm going to press enter once, creating as a flash, so I'm going to press enter again to create the waypoint. Okay, so we just created waypoint XXX. So once again, let's go ahead and press and hold clear for a few seconds. This will take us to our default nav page, okay? So once again, use your big dial now to change to the different main pages. Remember, big dial changes between the 4 main pages: nav, waypoint, aux, and nearest. So let's go ahead and press the button above clear. It's a D with an arrow going through it. This is the direct to button. So we're going to press it. Now we're going to rotate the small dial to type in our coordinate for the waypoint we made. So it's going to be XXX. So we'll rotate the big dial to go to the next spot. Rotate the small to select the letters I want. Okay, going to rotate the big dial to go 1 over. Small dial to select the letter I want. Should be XXX. I'm going to press enter. Okay, now activate as flashing. I'm going to press enter to activate direct to mode. I press enter. Now, as you remember, we use the big dial to select the main page, the small one to select the sub page. So we want to go on the nav page by using the big dial. Use the small dial to go over to the different sub page, and here is our active moving map. Now, if you go to the top right, you see the RNG with the arrows. Press the down arrow to bring down the range. And we can zoom in and look at the course we need to be heading. So looking at the right side of our GPS screen, it says the waypoint selected is XXX, the one I made. The distance is 5.63. And the ground speed right now is 0 because we're not moving. So if we zoom out using the range arrows, we can see our waypoint is towards the northeast of us. If we look at our map, we can also see that here's us down here. Cabaletti is also to our northeast, and if we measure it, it is roughly 5 miles, and our GPS is telling us 5.5 miles. So all we gotta do now is make this smaller, move it out of the way, and now we can follow our GPS system. Just follow the line. I'm gonna turn to where I'm facing the line, and I'm gonna fly towards it. And that's how you follow your waypoint. As you can see, our distance is shrinking down and our ground speed is coming up. So distance is going down, which means we're flying towards it. And that's the GPS system.